So let's talk real quick about leaky gut. What is leaky gut? So, we talked about the pipe, the gut, all the way from your mouth, all the way down to your rectum. Well, that lining is one cell thick. It's just one cell thick. And its role, though, is vital because everything in that pipe from your mouth all the way down to your rectum is considered outside world. And just like your skin is meant to be a barrier to the outside world, your gut lining is also meant to be a barrier to the outside world. And your skin, it protects you, right? Like it's keeping all the stuff that shouldn't come in out and allowing anything that should come in, and it protects you. But what happens when you burn your skin or when you scratch your skin or cut yourself? Suddenly, what are you worried about? You're worried about infection, right? Because your skin isn't able to keep out the bacteria anymore and it's able to get in and cause infection. Like essentially your skin becomes leaky, right? Well, the same thing is in your gut lining. Your gut is, when it's healthy, it's keeps out like 99.99995% of what it's supposed to keep out. It's very, very effective. It's one cell thick but it has all these microvilli on it. And the other thing is your gut has to absorb a ton of necessary nutrition, right? We get all of our nutrition essentially from the foods that we're eating. So it has a huge role of having to keep a lot of junk out while taking in a lot of essential nutrition for our health. So you start to see why the gut is so vital to our health, right? If we're not able to absorb all the nutrition we need properly, and we also can't keep out all the junk that we need to keep out, you can see how very quickly the body's going to get out of whack. So when you do have an infection or eat a food that is inflammatory to you, or have a lot of stress, or not sleeping well, like all of that stuff can influence your gut, and it causes inflammation and irritation, and you start to get like flattening of your microvilli. Like these are all those little microvilli that absorb all the nutrition, and like my hand is like that cell. Normally the cells are held together really tightly right here between my hands by something called tight junctions. Well, when you start to get inflammation and irritation, these microvilli get flattened, so you're not absorbing as well, but these guys also kind of get pulled apart, and so you start to get gaps in between the cells. So suddenly your body, it can't absorb as well, and it's also got all this junk that's like leaking through, and that shouldn't be, right? Well, over 70% of your immune system is in your gut, and there's a reason for that. Like we said, you're bringing in so much, you're bringing in all your nutrition, but you're also bringing in tons of toxins and everything, right? When you're eating. So your gut really has to be very good about recognizing friend or foe and keeping the bad stuff out. So over 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So when you do start to get this irritation, inflammation, and start to get leaky gut, your immune system becomes overreactive, basically. And it's like reacting to all this stuff, which then when your immune system gets reacted, it causes inflammation, basically, right? It activates your inflammatory response. And so if you might get a local inflammation, but then it leads to leaky gut, which then leads to more exposure, which leads to more reactivity of your immune system and even more inflammation down the road, right? So when you have that leaky gut, it's going to create a downstream effect of lots of inflammation. And inflammation is recognized both in the conventional medicine world and the functional medicine world as being the underlying cause of pretty much everything. And so you can see how leaky gut is going to create a really big problem because A, you're not absorbing the nutrition like you should, and B, you're getting exposed to a lot of stuff you shouldn't. So restoring your gut and trying to figure out what's causing the leaky gut and restoring that is essential for you restoring your health.